After the class, I'll take this one. Right? Every day put one new mobile. Better it is a i14 or a 15. Right? So let us look at the same technologies, fin technology. Right? So what we shall be discussing is the topic Fintech. To put it simply, financial technology. Let us try to understand what exactly is this topic and how it can be related to our civil services. Basically, the simple meaning of Fintech is using technology for financial transactions. Simple meaning. Using technology for improving delivery of financial services. Using technology for improving delivery of financial services. Using technology for improving delivery of financial services. Right? That is what we say. So what do we mean by this? Just go back to the good old age. 30 years back, there was no Fintech. So if I have to send money to people somewhere else, I have to go to a bank, draw a check in the name of the person, and I will deposit the check in the bank. And this check will go to the, for example, I am in Delhi, I am sending money to someone in, say, Hyderabad. I am drawing the check in favor of the person with his account number and all other details. And it will go to the bank headquarters in Delhi. From there, it will go to the clearing house. There is something called clearing house, where each and every bank cancels all those checks. For example, I am drawing check in the SBI, and the amount of money will be going into some other bank, say in Axis Bank. Then both of them will meet and they cancel out all the checks. What are the debits and what are the credits? How much amount of money will be debited from SBI? How much amount of money will be credited from SBI? Credited into account of SBI. So the clearing house will be there. Then they will see whether the money is there in the accounts or not. Then after that, it will go to the other bank in other city, and there the money will be credited to the account of the other person. And this entire process would take anywhere between 15 to 20 days. It can be more also. If it is in intercity transactions, it can be more also. 15 to 20 days in those days. That is how it is. That is the reason why those who have a knowledge of accounts, they know that the checks are always on the debit side, but not on the credit side. Because anyone can draw the check. Right now we have zero balance accounts. So I can also draw a check of 100 crores and give it to Pradhan Mantri Prime Minister Relief Fund. Because what is required is only a checkbook. Right? In those days, the transactions were used to be very, what we call physical transactions. It would take a lot of time, and it would also take it would also cause a lot of inconvenience, especially for business people, because if you have to send money immediately, it is not possible at all. And this is where technology has completely changed the life of people. Technology has totally changed the life of people, right? Especially the internet. Through this internet banking, through this technology, what we can do now is we can transfer any amount of money to any person in the world, with the click of your mouse. And that is what basically we call it as a Fintech, financial technology, using technology to improve the quality of financial service delivery mechanisms. Let us see what are the major challenges to it, what are the major problems to it, and how to overcome those challenges also. Right? So let us look at all these things. Right? Initially, was applied to, initially this fintech was applied to back end systems of back end back end systems of established financial institutions. Initially it was applied to back end systems of established financial institutions. Later back end means, as I said, clearing houses and other things. There are back end systems of established financial institutions. But over a period of time, there has been a shift to more consumer oriented services. Over a period of time, there has been a shift to more consumer oriented services. Exactly what is fintech now? Let us see what exactly is fintech right now. At present, fintech covers different sectors. It covers different sectors like education, retail banking, fundraising. You must have heard about the term crowdsourcing. Fundraising and non-profit, and investment management. Nowadays you can see so many mobile apps, mobile applications that will tell you how to manage your mutual funds and everything else. It is called computer aided management services, CAMS, right? All this is part of fintech. Apart from this, fintech also includes development and the use of cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other coins. Right. So this is broadly what we say fintech. That means at this point of time, fintech includes all these sectors, whether it is education, whether it is retail banking, whether it is fundraising, whether it is investment management, or most recently there is bitcoins also. Cryptocurrencies like bitcoins. We know only about bitcoins, but there are hundreds of coins like that. And what is the status of all these coins? Do they have any kind of legal status? Do they have any kind of legal status? No. Right? How the value is decided? Yes, the value is decided simply on the basis of demand and supply. Right? And who is the owner of all these things? Right? And how the values keep on changing of these coins? Blockchain technologies. Right? So let us proceed and look at all of them one by one. Right? So what do we say here? As I said that initially we have said that fintech includes variety of financial activities. It includes variety of financial activities, including money transfers. Right? So what is it? How is it? What is it and how is it? For example, from your smartphone, you can transfer money to any other account. This is what is called fintech. You can deposit money to any other account, and you don't have to visit any bank branch also, because what is called internet banking. Internet banking. Nowadays, you don't find, thanks to this technology, what happened in the banking sector? Thanks to this development of this technology, in the last 20 years in India itself, in the banking sector, especially private sector banks, more than almost 5 lakh people were removed from their jobs. Why? Because earlier people used to go to bank to deposit money, to withdraw money, to deposit the checks and everything else. Now everything is done only through online. Almost every transaction is done only through online. So one of the consequences of fintech is that it has almost destroyed what we call traditional banking systems. It has led to the destruction of traditional banking systems. And it is said that at least 1/3 of the consumers, use fintech services. 1/3 of the consumers use fintech services, right? At least 1/3 of the consumers, they use these fintech services. And obviously, as I said, one of the immediate consequences is loss of jobs in the banking sector. Huge amount of loss of jobs. That is the reason why you can see there is so much of opposition to computerization. That is the reason why you can also see that most of the time these banks will go on strike opposing this computerization. Loss of jobs. This is what we study in economics also. There is a famous economist called Joseph Schumpeter. What did he say? Have you heard about the name? Yes. He cannot hear because he is an economist. You have not studied, right? What did he say? He talks about what is called construction through destruction. This is how the progress of a country or progress of any society. Construction through destruction. What do we mean by that? As any society progress, the old jobs will be destroyed. The old professions will come to an end, and they will be replaced with new professions, demanding new skills, requiring new skills, right? New professions and requiring new skills. So what happened? On the one hand, we have seen the traditional banking system had almost come to an end. The traditional banking system. Why? Because you don't find people going to banks and standing in front of the queues and withdrawing money and depositing money. These kind of things nowadays it is not because you can deposit the money even through ATMs also. You don't have to go to a bank. And for withdrawing money and for other financial transactions, you can do it online only. So obviously the banks have got rid of the excess jobs, excess employees. As I said that more than 5 lakh people had lost jobs in India only because of this fintech, because of this use of technology by the banking sector. But it has created more jobs also. So what are the jobs it has created? What are the jobs it has created, this fintech? It has created jobs in other financial services. In other financial services. Right? In other financial services. What are the other financial services that we are talking about here? We are talking about insurance, we are talking about mutual funds, we are talking about NBFCs, non-banking financial institutions, companies, right? And we are mostly talking about all other financial services, all other financial services. It has given a lot of opportunity. Insurance, mutual funds, other investment opportunities, and all other financial services. So there is gradual shift in the jobs. Obviously, the focus now is more on developing a lot more skills, because otherwise without skills you cannot survive in the markets also without developing skills, right? Then right, as I said, right now most of the banks are also not in favor of opening more branches also. This is another consequence. Private sector, especially private sector banks, are not in favor of opening more branches. This is another another consequence of this fintech. Private sector banks are not in favor of opening more branches. Why? Because even for people in rural areas also, they have access to smartphones. People in rural areas also, they have access to smartphones. So it becomes easier for them. It becomes easier for them to do any transaction using their smartphones. It becomes easier for them to do any kind of transactions, right? What are the other consequences of this fintech? Next important consequence of this fintech is we have seen a rapid growth in the secondary market, especially for shares and equities. Secondary market, especially in a country like India, rapid growth. Why? Because again, we have so many mobile applications that will help the people to buy these shares online. With a demat. What is demat accounts? Demat means, what is the acronym for demat? D? Yes, that means nowadays you will not get your shares in a printed paper format. You will be getting all your shares in only through online, dematerializing the process of buying and selling shares, dematerializing. So you don't have to approach a stockbroker to go and buy and sell your shares. You don't have to approach. You can do all the things now online with the help of so many mobile applications. So this is another consequence of this fintech. It has helped, especially in India, to vastly develop secondary market for equities and shares. This is another consequence. Next, what are the other consequences? It has also expanded the scope of insurance market also in India. Insurance. It has also expanded the scope of insurance. Normally in India, we talk about, you study these things also in your economy. I don't know whether you study or not, you should be studying. There are two different things. Alright? So, a lot of difference is there. The difference is between queen is alive and queen is dead. Right? We never thought that she would die. In our class also we used to say the same thing. Finally, God is there. He heard. Right? 70 years back she had become the queen. Can you imagine 70 years back? Right? 70 years back, and now finally the Prince Charles had become King Charles, and he went into depression long time back because he would die without becoming king. In UK it is called HM, Her Majesty or His Majesty. For last 70 years it was only Her Majesty. Right? Now finally we can say His Majesty. Right? So coming back here, you should be studying, as I said. Right? For example, in India, life insurance is popular but not a general insurance. LIC, life insurance is popular, but GIC, general insurance. What is general insurance? What is general insurance? Life insurance means you are insuring your life. Nobody will insure your life. It does not matter at all, right? So otherwise, people also insure their life, right? General insurance means insuring all other materialistic possessions that you have. Insuring your house, insuring your car, insuring your television, everything else. In foreign countries, this general insurance is very, very popular. Even if they buy small thing like sandals or shoes, they will insure it. Yes, they will. They have this obsession insuring everything, except they don't insure their life. Right? So that is what. And what is the consequence of this fintech, financial technologies? In India, this general insurance is also becoming popular nowadays. Why? Because, as I said, accessibility. When we study e-governance, that is what we say, accessibility. Thanks to this rapid development of these technologies, all these financial services have become much more accessible to even middle class sections of society, and they are also opting for all these financial services, especially insurance products. That is the reason why nowadays you can see so many people working in the insurance sector. Right? This is another important aspect of this fintech. Right? Next, proceeding further. Right? How does this fintech works? It works on the basis of what is called artificial intelligence, machine learning. Artificial intelligence machine learning. Behavioral analytics, ANALYTICS. Then data driven marketing, behavioral analytics and data driven marketing. What is this one? What are we trying to look at here? We are trying to link technology to behavioral aspects of people. For example, what is the reason why Facebook was paid such a huge amounts of money by the financial product companies? Mark Zuckerberg, and there are so many cases against him, because on Facebook you give all your details, and you also keep on posting so many messages which shows your behavioral pattern, and this is what is necessary for these fintech companies to exactly predict your behavior and also guide you in terms of your financial decisions. That is what we call artificial intelligence or predictive behavioral analytics and data driven marketing. That is the reason why nowadays data and data and data, that is what, as they say, data is the new oil. That is what they say, data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. And that is the reason why whenever you sign on to all these mobile applications, they will always ask your basic data, because that is what is required for them to predict your behavior. Because this is what we study in behavioral economics. That is what we study in our public administration also, human behavior. If we can easily predict human behavior on the basis of the past actions of the people. That is what Herbert Simon also spoke about as empiricism, which is the basis of behavioralism. Please remember, Herbert Simon is an economist who got Nobel Prize in economics. So this is what exactly fintech companies will be doing. They keep on observing closely what are the messages that you are posting on your social networking websites. They keep on observing what kind of transactions you are doing with your bank or other other financial products, and they keep on then giving you suggestions to influence, to change, to determine your financial behavior. That is what this fintech is all about, right? Using this artificial intelligence, data analytics to influence, to guide, and to decide your behavior. After some point of time, for example, this is what human behavior is all about. If you keep on getting the same messages, 3-4 times you leave it. 5th time you think what it is. 6th time you will follow it. Human behavior, and that is what these companies will be doing to attract new consumers, also to make the existing consumers adopt all these new technologies also. That is what the fintech is all about, and that is how these cryptocurrencies also work. Proceeding further, especially mid 2000s, from mid 2000s onwards, this fintech has exploded. Mid 2000s onwards, 2010s, not 2000, 2010 onwards, this fintech has exploded. It has exploded. How? Because the startups involved in fintech, they had received billions of dollars, billions of dollars in funding, and most of them had become unicorns also. Most of them had become unicorns. UNICORN. What is a unicorn? Yes, $1 billion companies. Most of them had become. As I said, fintech. Please remember that fintech does not involve only financial sector. It includes education. It includes other sectors also. You are using technology in education to raise resources and also to spend monies. For example, we have these in India edutech companies like Byju's or Unacademy. They also received huge amount of funding, again through fintech. right? This is what we say. Then North America is number one when it comes to using these fintech startups. North America, followed by Asia. Second is Asia. When we talk about these fintech startups, North America is number one, followed by Asia, and in the third place it is Europe. And what are the important fintech innovations in recent times? What are the important fintech innovations in recent times? North America, followed by Asia, and then Europe in the third place. What are the important fintech innovations in the recent times? First and foremost, this one, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these cryptocurrencies, right? Then digital tokens, digital cash and digital tokens. If you remember, even RBI is also planning to come out with its own digital currency. RBI is also digital currency, right? Digital tokens, and they rely on mostly blockchain technologies. They rely mostly on blockchain technologies, right? Then what are the other innovations in fintech? Second one is open banking. The second innovation in fintech is open banking. All people, what is this open banking? It proposes that all people should have access to bank data. As I said, when you have access to this bank data, you can easily influence the behavior, economic behavior of the people. Open banking. All people will have access to complete bank data. And this data can be provided to third party also. Third party means you are the first one and bank is the second. Third party means it can be provided to financial companies or insurance companies or mutual funds companies or anyone else. Open banking. Second important part of fintech is open banking. Third one is InsurTech, InsurTech. As I said, using technology to simplify and streamline insurance industry. InsurTech, InsurTech. What do we say? Using technology to simplify and streamline insurance sector. Using technology to simplify and streamline insurance sector. Next one is RegTech, REG. Yeah. To simplify and streamline insurance sector. Next one is RegTech. RegTech means regulating the financial transactions of industries. Regulating financial transactions of industries, especially anti-money laundering and other activities. Regulating financial transactions of industries, especially anti-money laundering and other industries. Next one is robo-advisors, ROBO. Please, all of them can be asked in your prelims. Robo, ROBO, robo-advisors. Right, what is this robo-advisors? Utilizing algorithms to automate investment advice. What does this mean? Very simple. You say that I have this much amount of money. Immediately you will get on your screen where you can invest this money with minimum risk and maximum returns. This is completely automated ones. Those who are involved in the stock market and the mutual funds and all other shares, they know all these things. You people don't know, leave it. How many of you invest in stock markets? Very good. What did you invest? Yourself? Right. Right. Anyway, I think the time is up. Tomorrow we will continue. Tomorrow we will continue about these things. As usual, I will come back in 30 seconds. Right.